So, hello and welcome. We are back with the NDTV Election Town Hall, a chance for you to question the game changers of Battleground 2019, either in person with this wonderful audience that we have here with us, or you can ask us questions on Twitter and we'll put them to our newsmakers, to our game changers. Well, today we are very pleased to have with us Prashant Kishor. He's a political strategist who's now turned politician. He has gone from being a backroom player of Team Modi in 2014 to now becoming the inheritor of Nitish Kumar's Janata Dal United. Thanks very much indeed, Prashant, for talking to us. Send in your questions to us for Prashant with the hashtag AskPK on NDTV. We've already started getting some tweets, so we're going to take them during the show. But feel free to send us these questions. Prashant Kishor, let me start by asking you, because we are just literally now, about a week, 10 days after those very, very stunning results from the assembly elections. Were you surprised at all?
Not really. Not really. Because if you see, Rajasthan has been quite obvious to many people much before the elections.
Right.
So has Chhattisgarh.
Or even Chhattisgarh, because a lot of people didn't see that coming.
Maybe the extent of loss might not have been obvious or known to many people.
But your reading was that Chhattisgarh was also going out of the BJP's hands.
I wouldn't have any first-hand experience because I was in Bihar. Largely, I'm in Bihar. But whatever we were gathering from Chhattisgarh, it looked tight.
And Madhya Pradesh? Did that surprise you somewhat?
Yes, I should say that I was surprised.
So, what is your big reading from these results? What are they indicating, and what particularly are the signals that they're sending the BJP? Because these were straight Congress versus BJP fights.
Well, if you want to extrapolate what we have just got in this state elections, my sense is 2019 is wide open for everyone. It's open for BJP, it's open for NDA, it's open for UPA, it's open for any third, fourth person.
So 2019 is now wide open, that's clear.
It's not now. We have been telling this for quite some time that anyone who calls elections 1 year before would be risking it a little bit too early, because you never know what happens 6 months, 8 months, as you know, your experience. It's a very long time in politics. Post 2014, while all this hype and hoopla about BJP steamrolling everything, if you look carefully the data, 2014 remains the peak for BJP. Elections after election post 2014, including the UP elections, BJP vote share has come down to 3 percentage point, 4 percentage point, 5 percentage point, 6, 8, 10. In these elections, it has come down almost 15, 16 percentage point. So, if someone says that it was not to be seen, I think you were naive, or you were just more interested in looking at the breaking news or what was apparent on the surface. But beneath the surface, the data is always there.
Okay, interesting. This is all the more interesting because you are an NDA ally, you are a BJP ally, but you are saying that it was hyped to suggest that the BJP was on this absolute dominant march to 2014. You are saying the signs were already there? And now after this,
I'm not saying it was hyped by a party or a political group. I'm saying it was hyped by those who analyze elections, because you guys just look at
now you're blaming us for it.
I'm not blaming, because see, the data always existed. Nothing prevented from media from looking at these data. You looked at the outcomes, which were election results.
But it wasn't just us. If you remember, there were leaders, including Nitish Kumar, who said, you know, this is all over now. Forget 2014, forget 2019, think of 2024.
Look at carefully. In 2014 post Lok Sabha elections, BJP could not secure majority in Maharashtra, though the government was formed. BJP did not win Jharkhand on its own. Compared to 2014, where the majority would be 2/3. So, obviously the result was that I'm talking about 2014. 2015, BJP lost 2 elections, both elections that were fought in 2015. BJP lost one in Delhi and in Bihar. 16, they did not win any other state other than Assam. And in 17, yes, UP, because it's an elephant in the room, it was talked as if everything has been won.
Okay, so interesting.
But
that
even
you're
in
saying
UP,
that the
even
signs
in
were
UP,
there.
compared to 2014, BJP vote share came down by 3 percentage points.
This is not just you being sour grapes because you were part of the UP campaign for the Congress at that time, and you got wiped out.
No, I'm saying whether it is sour grape for me or a sweet grape for me, the data doesn't change.
Okay. You're just talking on data because you're also a data person.
What I'm trying to tell you is that if someone is telling that no, they are getting this sign only after these 4-5 elections, I'm just telling you, just go back and start looking at the elections post 2014. In every election after, maybe Haryana, Tripura would be an exception, but other than that, BJP's vote share has been coming down.
This is
in
a very
each
interesting.
state.
Okay, this is a very interesting reading of a narrative which actually has always suggested the reverse, that the BJP is gaining in dominance, is expanding its footprint. But let me just come back to
no. Make no mistake. They have expanded. They have gained ground.
But the
not
vote,
to the extent
that is being made out.
Not to the extent that has been made out, and certainly not to the extent what they achieved in 2014.
Okay, let me ask you about what this is telling you as someone who's an analyst of Indian politics about why this is happening vis-a-vis the BJP. Are you seeing, and I'm talking particularly about these 3 states because this was, as I said, Congress versus BJP straight fight. Do you sense that this is indicative of the fact that the Congress has improved its election game, or are these people simply, are voters simply rejecting the BJP?
I do not see a fundamental change on front of Congress, on part of Congress. No, I don't see. And that, if I'm a BJP, that is why I would be a bit more worried, because if I would have lost these elections to a reformed Congress, a very rejuvenated Congress, possibly I would have been less worried.
So what is this then telling?
This is telling me that it's vote against BJP in those 3 states more than vote for Congress, because again I give you another data point. In whole of India, all mode of surveys are telling that Rahul Gandhi has advantage over Mr. Modi as a preferred choice as Prime Minister in south of India.
Right.
Now look, the one election that has happened in south is Telangana, where Congress, despite having Mahakutumbi, has been wiped off.
Yeah.
So that is telling you that voters are far more intelligent than what the surveys throw at you.
So you're saying that this is indicative that people are no longer stuck on because the BJP had used the language of the Congress saying it's Tina, there is no alternative. There's no alternative to us. You're saying voters are not bothered by that.
My sense is voter is far more smarter than what any one survey is throwing at you. Second is, in absence of a wave, which is not apparent, unlike 2014, you would see a state after state will vote differently from each other.
No, but I want to pick you up on the more important point you made.
When you see the 3 state Congress being voted in, the Congress has been voted out in Mizoram. Congress has not been able to capitalize in Telangana.
So the story could change, but you're saying that voters are not simply willing to necessarily seek an viable alternative to the BJP. The anger is to the extent that they're simply saying, "Aapko harana hai, jeetega kaun wo dusri baat hai."
One way to look at it, you could interpret it that way, but my sense is,
why is
in these 3 states, if I look at the way the people have voted, it is not a massive support for Congress except for maybe Chhattisgarh. It is more
negative against the BJP.
And because BJP vote share has not come down drastically in those 2 states.
What is so you're saying the Congress has not done much to fix its game. What is the BJP?
If there would have been
what is the BJP doing wrong?
No, see, if there would have been a wave in favor of Congress, the one state they should have won is in south, because that is where Rahul Gandhi is apparently very popular, much more popular than Mr. Modi.
Sure.
So what I'm trying to tell you is that the state where, because many surveys you hear that Mr. Modi is so popular, and a state still you see BJP losing those 3 states. And the state where Rahul Gandhi is very popular, you saw Congress losing.
What is the BJP getting wrong in your view?
No, that is for BJP to decide. I am nobody to advise BJP.
No, I'm not asking you to advise the BJP. I'm asking you to analyze what they're getting wrong.
I'm sure they have very experienced people. They know how to
analyze. You see, this is the problem.
No.
Now you are answering like a neta.
No, I'm
so
not.
far you were not.
No,
so far you were answering like the Prashant Kishor I knew. This is a typical Netaji answer.
I'm stating the fact, which is the much hyped one-way traffic, electoral traffic was never the case.
Okay.
But media or otherwise people who are interested in analyzing and discussing politics were not willing to analyze those or look at those numbers. They were just looking at the final result.
Do you have any regrets that you may have picked the wrong side?
No, not at all. I'm very.
You may have thrown in your lot with the losing side.
No.
At this rate, if this continues.
But this is again a misnomer that anyone has a crystal ball to know which side is going to win. Only people who know which side was winning is the media, because after election comes, you have the liberty to say, okay, we knew that Mahagathbandhan would have won in Bihar.
हमने तो हमेशा कहा, we always said.
हमें पता था जी 2014 में मोदी की वेव है, but it happens only post elections.
But Prashant, now do a little bit of crystal ball gazing. I'm going to come back to push you on why you think the BJP is losing ground. But before that, tell me, if this kind of trend continues, what do you see could be a likelihood in 2019? Because if people are actually so upset that they're going to willing to vote you out if there's no alternative, do you see could this be significant?
I see still, if I have to put my neck out, I still see NDA having the best chance to form the government.
Okay.
Now, within NDA, what would be the composition of different parties is something.
One theory says, there is one sort of set of theorizing that's going on in Delhi circles, which you may have heard of, that they feel that at this rate, the BJP could actually crash and come down to even like a 150, 160 level. If people are so upset that they're willing to vote them out. Do you think that's realistic?
But that's what people might be discussing in Delhi, but that might not be reality.
Do you think it's a possibility?
See, anything is possible in politics, but
okay, you're hedging your bets again.
I still see, no, I'm not hedging my bet.
Okay.
If I have to put my money, I would still put on an NDA government than any other formation forming the government in 2019.
Okay, talk about the NDA, because that's something which you are a member of. You are part of the JDU. Is it safe to at least say that the BJP can no longer think that they can go into this election on their own? They have to build a coalition, they have to build allies, and at the moment the NDA is not a very happy house.
Okay, so I don't know if BJP is saying that they are going alone, because even 2014 elections were fought as NDA. BJP got majority on its own.
Of course, but that they should be much more.
The allies who were there, whether Shiv Sena, whether Akalis, and few others, they were always there.
But at the moment, there is literally no NDA.
That is for NDA leadership to comment, but I'm too new to be commenting about whether NDA is functional in letter and spirit or not. But on paper, NDA has almost 30 parties today.
But they are all unhappy. The Shiv Sena is unhappy. The Akalis are unhappy.
I don't know how you gauge unhappiness, but if that.
Well, by the very strong statements they make, Mr. Paswan's party is unhappy and Mr. Kushwaha's party has left the NDA.
No. Okay. So, Mr. Paswan is very much part of NDA, and I don't see there is any problem on his side. Okay. That much I can tell you. Whatever little I gather with my interaction with them, I do not see much of problem with the other major allies like Shiv Sena or Akalis.
Upendra Kushwaha leaving the NDA?
But Upendra Kushwaha, it was his choice, he left. I don't think that's significant.
It's not going to damage you in Bihar?
I don't think so. I don't think NDA with the 3 existing allies is a formidable force, electoral machine in Bihar. BJP, Nitish Kumar and Ramvilas Paswan is very formidable for any combination to take on.
But even with your own party,
yes,
there is still no announcement on seat sharing. This has been going on for weeks.
No, it has been announced almost 2 months back that both BJP and JDU will fight equal number of seats in Bihar.
But that actual number has not been announced?
But actual number is just a matter of speculation, or just a matter of just putting one number here or there. But it's, by and large, it's known.
It's done?
Yes, it's done deal.
The seat sharing has been finalized?
Yes,
it's done.
It has come from none less than the both party presidents.
No, but can you tell us what the final figure is?
No, the final figure is anyone's guess, because if both these parties are fighting equal number of seats, the number would be anything between 15 to 18. So, there is no other possibility.
Right, because there are total 40 seats.
There are 40 seats.
In Bihar. You know, so you could end up fighting what, 17 each? And
17, 15, 16, 18. The number will, so if one has to make a guess, and you will guess out of these 4 numbers, one will turn out to be true.
But if everything is so hunky-dory, why is the announcement still not come out?
Because see, which other alliance in the state has come out with the exact seat number? In India, unfortunately or fortunately, we do not announce these seat numbers and which party is fighting which seat so early, and there is still 5-6 months left.
That is the old India. That is the old style of politics. You are supposed to be signaling a new politics. You should. आप इसी show पे घोषित कर दीजिए.
It's a new style of politics, and that is why you saw the announcement was made almost 8 months, 7 months before elections.
But explain something to me that, you know, why do we see that the JDU is, do you think, okay, let me rephrase this. You sent out a tweet. I mean, let's put that tweet up on the screen. In the middle of all these allies, all of them expressing their problems with the NDA, you put out a very safe tweet. Joint efforts and collective strength of all the coalition partners in the NDA are key to a success. All constituents must work towards this.
Yes.
Now, this is as sarkari and as much of a, you know, a typical Neta speak as you can get.
But you see,
but help us now read between the lines.
But it's not, there is nothing to read between the line. It is very much there, right? As you can read that NDA, what I am telling you right now, that if I have to put my money, I will put it on NDA, securing, reaching closer to 272 or better than that, and that is what I have written there.
But is the BJP behaving like a big brother within the NDA? Every other constituent seems to think so. You don't. You're the only party that doesn't think so.
No, in Bihar, I don't think they are behaving like a big brother. You know, JDU has the chief minister. I do not see BJP interfering in any which way.
No, but overall, as a political party, are they
overall? I cannot speak for other parties, but I do not see BJP, with my own first-hand experience, BJP acting in any manner which is not appropriate in Bihar, at least with JDU.
Okay, then let me ask you this. How, and we're starting to get some tweets. Let's take a tweet from somebody called Saqib Imran. He says, how are you going to counter your alliance partners' communal politics? And this is something that I've always been interested to ask you about, because you are somebody who has moved across parties, has moved across ideologies. You continue to remain fairly close to Narendra Modi, as in you have regard for him. He has regard for you. Do you still meet him, or?
I do, but that's inconsequential.
Okay,
because I have joined JDU.
But since you joined JDU, have you met him at all?
Yes, but that is not something that matters much, because I believe in ideology of JDU, and that's why I'm in JDU. I'm not in BJP.
But what I'm curious about is that your at least your silence about this communal aspect of the BJP, which is something that has always been there, but today we are seeing it at a greater intensity than ever before.
No, if you look at Mr. Nitish Kumar's statements and the communication which he is out there in public, he has been talking ad nauseum about not compromising on 3 C's: corruption, crime, and communalism. So I really don't know why you would see that we have been soft on any one of these 3 C's.
Because you still are close to Mr. Modi, and you have regard for Mr. Modi, and Mr. Modi presides over a party under whose watch we have seen a huge spike.
But then you are saying that anyone who is close to Mr. Modi, anyone who is close to Mr. Modi has to believe in communalism. That's what you are saying?
No, I mean, I'm asking you, don't you have a problem with that part of his political worldview, his political ideology?
Mr. Modi I know and have worked with. I have never seen the shades of communalism in him, at least the Mr. Modi I have worked and know of. You have looked at 2014. You have looked at 2014 campaign yourself.
Yes.
Tell me a single element in that campaign which you would term as a communal campaign.
One second.
Now tell me. Don't go about the futuristic speculation.
Okay.
Go by what we have done in 2014.
Okay. Firstly, I'd say
in 2014.
No, hold on.
Was the campaign communal?
Okay. Let me ask you a counter question. Do you only look at someone's record from the day you meet them, or do you look at their entire political record. Look at the 15 years before that.
No, see,
as a Gujarat chief minister,
see,
the campaign he ran, the speeches he made.
See, if you
they
start,
were openly communal speeches.
If you start opening up history, there would not be a single politician, or there would be not many politicians in India and political parties with whom you can work.
But this is not
the same thing.
This is not medieval. This is not medieval India. We're talking about the past, 10, 15 years.
So that's what I'm trying to tell you. That for 10 years, you can have the similar instance or similar things to complain about against literally every leader and every party in India, and that's unfortunate as it is. But that's the reality.
But when it comes to communalism, he actually did make a statement. He made a speech repeatedly referring to pink revolution during the 2014 campaign. Again and again, he brought up this idea about cow slaughter.
See, this
without any evidence.
This pink revolution word was there on the website of ministry at that time, and he mentioned it on a couple of occasions that in India, why are we talking about this? To the best of my recall, because this is part of 2014 communication campaign.
Yes.
So I know what exactly you are referring to. Pink revolution was actually written on the website of the government of India.
But he put it in a very different way.
No. And there was a clarion call there that we have seen the green revolution, we have seen the white revolution. Now let's aim to have a pink revolution.
Yes.
And that was written in the context of increasing beef export, and he would have used it just to say that, as a country where bovine meat is not necessarily vast majority of India is very comfortable with, he might have used it in that context. But it was not the phrase that was coined by him.
I know, but it was used in a completely misleading context, because what we export is buffalo, not beef. And he seemed to link the two.
No, he did not link it, to the best of my knowledge.
Okay, actually we can go back to the speech.
No, we can. You can.
And we can debate it.
I tell you because I have looked at this phrase. I was part of the team at that time, and I would have looked at his speeches. I don't think he has on his own come out and said anything on the pink revolution.
Okay.
You must get the ministry's website also, which has actually mentioned this.
I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I've actually looked at those speeches very closely, and I'm happy to come back to you.
I again challenge you. Go back to the 2014 campaign. Tell me the elements in 2014 campaign which you found
I just gave you an
communal.
example, but you rejected it.
No, I'm not rejecting. I'm giving you the real explanation.
Okay.
2014 campaign, if it was communal in any which way, please let me know.
Okay. But if you take away 2014 campaign, just for the sake of argument, if you look at what is happening with the BJP,
that's the fact.
Okay, no,
unless you prove that this was the campaign which
but we agree to disagree on pink revolution. We agree to disagree on the fact that you won't look at his record.
No, I tell you, in 2014 campaign, it started with his mega rallies. It started with the town hall here, the mega rallies, the Manthan, which was a youth interaction, the Statue of Unity, the Sardar campaign.
We don't want the entire list of 2014 campaigns.
Tell me a single campaign module in 2014 that you found communal.
As I said, we agree to disagree on pink revolution.
You are taking
Let me ask you about today the BJP. Because today you are an ally of the
I might be ally, but today I do not run the narrative of BJP. I do not run the communication of BJP. I do not necessarily. They are not asking me what to say and what not to say.
No, of course. But as an ally, you can take a stand on positions taken by the leading alliance partner. For example, just today, news has come that they have asked, an order has been passed by the Home Ministry that in addition to giving intelligence agencies, investigating agencies the power to surveil our phones, they will now have free license to surveil our computers as well, computers and related equipment, which is something that is being widely condemned across the political spectrum. Your thoughts on this?
I'm always for the choice of citizens. I believe in the freedom of choice, and any kind of state interference for surveillance for right region or wrong regions is something which we should not.
You think accept. This order?
I do not know the context in which government has issued a statement, but I am making a larger point that democracy is our biggest strength.
Okay.
We shouldn't turn into a surveillance state.
Okay. Good. I'm glad at least we got you to clarify on that. Let me ask you about the fact that now when it comes to you, now as JDU, you became the inheritor of this party at I must say, a very young age for Indian politics.
I'm not an inheritor.
Well,
why do you
because Nitish Kumar said Prashant Kishor is the future. What more a clear signal can anybody give of, of you
no,
being an inheritor?
I'm there to do whatever little I could do. As I was interested in working in Bihar or beyond. I looked around, and only party I could have called as my party and feel comfortable with its ideology and work methods and the opportunity which I would get was JDU, and that's why I am in JDU.
Okay, but
and above all, I have the greatest respect for Nitish Kumar as an administrator, as a leader.
But I want to ask you, because we have young people here, and I'm going to go across to them in a second. I've also seen that you've taken out some ads that say if you want to join politics, join Prashant Kishor. We can actually put up some of those on
it's
screen.
Not join Prashant Kishor. This is one thing which I have started after joining JDU. Is one of my goals is to.
Here it is. It says, okay. It says.
आइए जुड़िए राजनीति में प्रशांत किशोर के साथ. So I have
Prashant
been.
Kishor के साथ. So it says join Prashant Kishor.
No, if you have to join me, that means you have to join JDU. So, but what I am trying to do is I have started this Youth in Politics. I genuinely believe that we need more young people to come in politics who otherwise would not have come.
So why should young people come to JDU? Nitish Kumar is seen as someone who is, as his rivals call him, a paltu chacha, paltu mama. वो पलटते रहते हैं. He keeps changing his stance. With all respect, you have also switched from Modi to Congress to Nitish Kumar.
So
why should people trust Nitish Kumar or trust
first
you?
Let me answer my part. This is the first party I have joined, and this is my first and hopefully the last party.
You're not saying last, you're already saying hopefully.
Yes, because I cannot be saying something what will happen 30, 40 years down the line or 10 years down the line.
But for now, you are with the JDU.
I am with the JDU and I am not changing. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Those who call Mr. Nitish Kumar Paltu Ram or Paltu Chacha, whatever, I do not want to comment on that. But you, as an experienced journalist, tell me a party or a leader in India who in last 15 years or 20 years has not turned sides at least thrice or four
But
times.
Prashant, that becomes whataboutery. That doesn't become a pitch to encourage young people, because then they'll say, what's the difference between JDU and any other party?
I'm telling them what is the difference. The difference is that you have a leader who is not corrupt. You have a leader who is not necessarily promoting dynasty. You have a leader who has delivered over 15 years in one of the most difficult state to govern. And in Prashant Kishor, you have someone who can handhold you as you start your political career. So if I have advised big leaders for whatever it is worth, I want to spend my next 2 years, 3 years advising those who wants to become Mukhya, who wants to win Jila Parishad, who wants to become MLA, who wants to become MP in next 10, 15 years. The campaign is about that, that get 1 lakh people to join politics, and I am starting in Bihar because that is where I have a political platform. And not only join politics, make 15, 20,000 of them fight elections in next 4, 5 years.
No, but you're saying that Nitish Kumar is this amazing politician who's not corrupt, who's run this extraordinary state,
I can tell you,
Vasu,
I can tell you with
but
my first-hand
he
experience.
was wiped out in 2014.
Yes, I can tell you with first-hand experience. There are very few politicians in India today who can claim to be non-corrupt after being on chair for 10, 15, 20 years. Nitish Kumar undoubtedly is one of them.
Okay, that's a very, very sweeping statement to make. I'm sure Nitish Ji's rivals may not agree. But
you cannot get a single person who would call Nitish Kumar a corrupt leader.
Okay.
Secondly, look at me. I do not belong to his caste. I am certainly not part of his family. I am not coming from his political school of thought, which is socialist thinking. And I am not coming from his hometown or home state. Yet he handed over the party. He has not handed over the party, but he has given me something to do. That itself shows.
But
that
if you're saying,
if you have something,
okay, but if you say corruption aside, reliability.
Why corruption is not an issue?
No, I am asking about reliability. You're saying that all parties, all leaders have switched sides.
No,
the manner in which he did it.
He's as reliable as any other politician in India. And start from Kerala, go up to the Kashmir, start from Gujarat, go up to Arunachal Pradesh. Okay. Those who you will call today reliable, and you have the better history of them than I would know. They would have turned 3 times, 4 times. Look at Chandrababu Naidu, look at DMK, look at Mamta Ji, look at Mayawati Ji, look at even for that matter.
Can I ask you?
Those who are calling him Paltu Chacha, ask, because he's young guy, just ask him.
Tejasvi
Yadav. Yes, just ask him that in Biswanath Pratap Singh government, where was his father? Where was his father?
No, one second. Can I
was not that government supported by BJP?
Can I also respond, because I am supposed to be the anchor here. So, if I may, no one is disputing that we do not have dal badlus and paltus in Indian politics. Let me finish the question. The point is that if you're positioning...
Why you are singling out Nitish Kumar?
Only because you are giving us the hard sell on Nitish Kumar.
No.
Because of that.
I tell you
why.
why.
Sitting and talking to you.
No, I'm not giving you a hard sell on that part. I'm giving you a hard sell. Can you deny the fact that Bihar under him has prospered in last 14, 15 years? Can you deny the fact that he is one of those leaders who is still honest? Can you deny the fact that he is one of those who are not necessarily promoting his dynasty, his son, his... You know, someone in IIT Delhi asked me that, oh, you are there because his son is not interested in politics. But in India, if you don't have your son, you will put your wife. You don't have your wife, then you put some of your relatives.
Okay.
And so, please give him the due where it is due. If he has some flaws, no one is ideal. If he has some flaws, you see, the problem is why Delhi media especially very upset about his turning this side. My assessment is that lot of those who saw in Nitish Kumar a challenger to Modi actually wanted him to fight their battle in some sense. See,
some people have come out and said that openly.
Yes, and they feel that, okay, they feel let down. So, that is a possibility, and that is why media is so upset.
But regardless of whether the media felt upset or not, the fact is he did do it. Let's start let's start taking some questions. I have somebody, Haider, is it, who had a question. Yes, if we can get a mic across to him, or do you already have a mic? Yes, go ahead.
Yes, so my first question was, as a political strategist, how do you differentiate between the monetary compulsions of being strategist and the moral conceptions of informing the citizen?
Okay, let me rephrase that question and ask you something which a lot of people have always wondered, and I have also wondered, that how much money did you get to run all these political campaigns?
I'm so glad that you're asking this question, and I hope as and when I will get into.
And I want an honest answer.
But I'm telling you,
I don't want the answer which I think I suspect, which I know you're going to give.
I'm happy to open my bank accounts and show to you that how much money anyone would have paid to me, Prashant Kishor. Not a single penny would be paid by any one of these people to Prashant Kishor, because first of all, they did not hire me as a political strategist as you think. I came to work just as an aide. No one pays the hundreds of crores as media reports.
So you're saying you want to attract young people, but you know, young people expect candor, they expect frankness.
Yes,
you expect all these people to believe that you did it for the love of the country, for the love of Modi ji.
I did it because I wanted to learn. I wanted to make name for myself. I wanted to create a space for myself, and that's too big a reward to be.
But IPAC, which is the consultancy you ran, they got someone paid them.
So IPAC, no, but again, why don't you? IPAC's returns are there in the public domain. Just go and look at the money which IPAC gets and what they make in terms of their top line and bottom line. This is not something which is hidden beneath the surface.
Tax returns are normally not in the public domain. So unless you've chosen to put it, I mean, I can't access your tax return. You can't access mine.
No, please, no. As a company, because IPAC is a registered company. So their tax returns are very much in public domain.
Okay, I think what you're saying is not their tax returns, but their ROC filings before the Ministry of Company Affairs.
ROC tells you all your top line and bottom line.
Okay, so we'll certainly look at it. But since we're here, why don't you enlighten us? What is the top line and bottom line of IPAC?
I tell you, what people pay is actual cost of the individuals who work with setup like IPAC. I give an example of 2014 much hyped election, which you hear that it was a very expensive.
How much did IPAC
I'm coming to it. That time it was called CAG. In CAG, when I first met people and I asked them how much we will have to pay for you to leave your prestigious job or lucrative life wherever you are, how much we will have to pay. And we asked people to put the number in a chit, and the average came out to be 27,000, because all people wanted was to get out of pocket expenses covered. The CAG used to pay 50,000 rupees per person per month as subsistence allowance. So, say at
where
the
did
peak,
that money come from?
I'm coming to it. So, at the peak, say CAG would have 1,000 people, which would create so much of news that, oh God, 1,000 people have come working with Mr. Modi, leaving their MNC's job, and etc. etc. Just multiply 50,000 with 1,000 people. How much is that? It's 5 crores. It's nothing compared to the election budgets. It's nothing.
Who paid that amount?
It's party which pays. If you are
BJP wrote the check of 5 crores for that?
Yes. If whatever the expense is paid by the parties. So, if you open up the IPAC returns, you will see when we were in Bihar, the money coming from JDU. If you when we were working in Punjab and UP, the money came from Congress.
And you're now also working with Jagan.
So the
Andhra.
money would be coming from YSRCP party. There is not a big
But none of that comes to you. It only comes to IPAC.
And
How are
then,
you?
I'm telling you.
But you are also running a house.
In last 5 years, if anyone can prove a single penny moving from IPAC or CAG to Prashant Kishor's account, I will take whatever you say.
Okay, so how is Prashant Kishor running his ghar?
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. My expense is also covered by those I'm working, which is it's complete. The whole model is reimbursement. Whatever expense is there, you have to reimburse.
Okay, so then in that sense, you are receiving reimbursement for your expenses.
That is what you spend on the work, you get back. Yes,
that's it.
You do not make any profit, and you cannot walk into IPAC or Prashant Kishor and say, okay, I'm giving you 5 minutes. Why don't you see? You talk to Amrinder Singh, ask him how much money he has paid. You talk to Modi, ask him how much money he has paid. You talk to Nitish Kumar and ask him how much.
Okay, one second. Do you think realistically, calm down. Realistically, you think any politician is ever going to honestly answer that question? How much money I have paid?
But I'm telling you,
that is not going to happen.
But I'm telling you something. If those who are running the country, if you are not believing them, so you are saying everyone is lying except for what your perception is.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying when it comes to political expenses and political finance,
there is another way to look at it.
There's a lot of opacity.
Yes,
people are not transparent.
So there are two things.
So that's why.
So no, there are two things. The political campaign might have got money which is accounted or not accounted. But when you are talking about IPAC CAG, forget about who pays. Those who receive money from IPAC.
Okay. Can I ask you a question? You're not even allowing me to speak.
No.
This has become a monologue. I'm the anchor. I'm invoking the anchor's right to ask you one question. If you're saying that it is only, I accept. You're saying it's only reimbursement, no profit,
and through the check.
The check. Okay, accept it. If it's that, then all these young people who are working for you, I'm sure some of them are very skilled. You get very good talent from IIMs and so on and IITs.
They come for the experience.
They are not. There's nothing for them to take home. No profit.
There is a huge thing for them to take home.
No, I'm talking monetarily.
But I'm telling you, I tell you what they take home. Because those who come, you have to first understand who comes to work at IPAC. They want to experience politics without necessarily joining politics. They want to create a huge weight on their CV. If I tell you the number of people who have gone to Ivy League colleges after spending a couple of years or 3 years in IPAC,
right,
you would be surprised to know. Because it's not about 10,000 extra or 20,000 extra.
Right.
It's the experience. It's about learning. It's about improving your CV. It's about something which otherwise you would not get to work, get to do in your lifetime. Let me complete one thing.
Okay. Can I take some audience questions now?
Because you said leaders will never tell you how much money they paid. I challenge you to go other way around. Those who received money, because they are not all in my control. There are more than 3,000 people who have come, worked with CAG or IPAC and have gone. Ask them if they have got a single penny in cash from us.
Okay.
Every penny they have got it through check, and that is accounted.
Okay. Let me just get some questions from the audience. Akhilesh is here somewhere with us. Yes. You had a question.
So my question pertains generally, pertains to the Home Ministry's order today, right? So IPAC, if you visit the IPAC website, it's always looking for data mining experts, for Python experts. So where does IPAC draw the line? Because data is important for you. Data is important for your as you have mentioned, for your micro and macro political decision making. Where do you draw the line that this is what you don't consider?
Many interviews I have said this, like us, even this whole quote unquote big data is so much overhyped in India and overestimated. Data is important, but not something that can make a difference in the electoral outcome.
But you use a lot of data.
We do use a lot of data for understanding. We do use a lot of data to reach people.
But where do you get that from?
Through the campaigns. But that is the difference, because someone looked at this Cambridge Analytica and they mined data from Facebook. We started campaign where Facebook was not even used as a campaign platform. But once you start using Facebook, then you have a lot of data. I give you an example. If
you don't actually use means which may not entirely be above board to, like a lot of political analysts, party strategists buy raw data from the data black market.
I tell
like
you
cell phone numbers
why
and so
I
on.
don't need to buy data is because we generate so much data on our own. For example, in Gujarat in 2012, we started for the first time what is called missed call campaign. If you want Mr. Modi as a CM, give a missed call. The 60 lakh people called.
Okay.
Then I have those 60 lakh data to reach. I don't need to go and do what Cambridge Analytica quote unquote was trying to do. I don't need to mine data on Facebook to know more about you. Many people, we generate interest and data points through the campaigns. If I am running Chai Pe Charcha and I am asking you if you want to join, if you want to participate, call.
Okay, so you're getting your data from you're saying you're getting your data from your campaign. You're not actually buying it. We're running out of time. Let me come back to 2019 and the big picture.
Nobody who can sell data. That big data is not available anywhere in India. What are we talking about?
Okay, let me ask you as we're running out of time about 2019 again. Going back, what do you see with Rahul Gandhi now? Do you see any change in him? If you were to identify one or two things that you think has changed with Rahul in the past, I don't know, since you worked with him.
Success and victory always makes you much more confident. So I'm sure he is much more sure about his own strategies and what he think is the right thing to do.
You think Rahul has become more confident now?
Anyone does. If you are successful, you become confident. If you are not successful, you become a bit more skeptical. This is nothing unique to Rahul or anybody else.
What is his biggest weakness in your view, having worked with him, having worked with the Congress?
It is. I'm too small a person to comment about.
Come on, here we go again. Here we go again.
Weakness.
I'm not accepting or expecting this from you.
I've been telling this, that though anyone who such a old party like Congress has chosen to lead as their leader, you have to give him time, you have to trust that he has the ability and leave it to the wisdom of Congress.
No, okay, so forget Rahul. Would you say what is the biggest one weakness that the Congress has? Is it the fact that they are too much of a legacy party?
Congress is like an old house. Congress is like an old house. It's very difficult to, if you have an old house versus a flat, as you and I know, it's very difficult to maintain an old house because you will have some seepage coming here and there, some air passing from here. It has got its own legacy. It has got its own.
Doesn't sound very appealing the way you describe it, like an old house that's about to collapse.
No, I didn't say it's about to collapse.
But it has its problems.
Because it has its problems or shortcomings because it's a 100-year-old party. So obviously, any institution which is 100-year-old or more than 100-year-old would have its own shortcomings and issues that they need to revamp.
That's you're saying that's a problem. When you see Rahul now, because he was never, and this was your assessment, I've heard you say this, that he was not a risk taker in the same way that Narendra Modi was or continues to be. Do you see that changing? Like, for example, with the hug, with his big hug for Modi.
Let me first tell what I said. I said risk taker versus status quoist, more of a status quoist. Now, all risk taking is not necessarily good, and all status quoist may not be wrong.
That's a good point.
So that's what I said last time. Whether he is becoming more, I definitely see, like any other individual, he would be more confident because he has got the victory under his belt. He would be able to do what he thinks.
Okay, I've asked you on Rahul. I'm asking you now on Narendra Modi. What is his biggest strength, even now, you think?
I have already said he's a risk taker. Strength, I think, is a thing which a lot of people do not know about him. He's a great listener. From his personality, it doesn't come across maybe. He comes across as someone who is all-knowing, all speaking, but he's a great listener. I haven't come across a politician who is as good a listener as Mr. Modi.
And one big weakness?
He's a prime minister. It's above my paycheck. It's above my. It's above my paycheck. It's above my paycheck to look at the weakness of the prime minister.
The reason why he listens to you is because you're able to tell him what's what. You're not just sitting there praising him. So you don't have to give this sort of safe answer.
No, I'm not giving a safe answer. I'm telling you what.
No one is perfect.
Yes.
So what is one weakness, or at least something that needs to be fixed?
I think the kings need to be benevolent. So maybe if I would have to change one thing in Mr. Modi, I would urge, plead, request him to be a bit more benevolent.
Be more benevolent.
Yes.
Be less. What's the?
I would say more. I would not. I would
don't
not
be so
get
vindictive.
into.
Don't be so harsh.
Just be benevolent. Let things go a little bit.
Acha. Okay.
King should be benevolent.
King should be benevolent.
As you raise,
that's all we're going to get out of you as far as Narendra Modi is concerned. We'll take a short break. Don't go away. Coming up, much more with Prashant Kishor. We're going to put him through a rapid fire. Welcome back. Oh, we're still clapping. Okay, lovely. So, welcome back. We're with Prashant Kishor, strategist, now Neta. Fascinating to hear him on 2019. Let's just get some last questions from the audience. I have Smriti here who wants to ask a question. Yes. Go ahead, Smriti.
I just wanted to ask that you were the face of professional campaign management, which was hitherto not seen in Indian politics. And now you getting directly involved into politics as like a politician, doesn't that dilute the entire purpose of professional campaign management as a value-neutral profession?
And also, I think you had a question about the JDU as well. Am I right?
Yes, that was an important question,
Yeah, what
especially
about that?
considering what you were saying
Yeah.
in the entire discussion, that now that you are the face of JDU and you have been very active in the university elections as well, what is to stop from JDU becoming more ambitious like back in 2014 and leaving the NDA and playing it solo?
Nitish for Prime Minister, or that's now
No, I think
out of the question?
We are focused in Bihar. We are a very small party, and we should not be over ambitious.
But are you going to run? Are you going to contest?
No, I have told that I'm not going to fight any Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha elections for at least next 10 years.
Why not?
Because I want to remain in Bihar. I want to do what I am doing, which is to get more youth in politics on JDU platform,
Okay.
which is a very time consuming process. I have given myself 2 years to get 1 lakh people to politics and help 10-15,000 of
So
them
you
to
don't
fight
want to
elections.
be an MP, you don't want
No,
to
I
be an
don't want to.
MLA. How will you then leave this party?
No,
Because you-
I'm not.
you know,
I did not say,
elected.
I did not say MLA, but I'm not coming out in Parliament. I'm not coming out of Bihar, so I'm not a contender for Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha.
Okay, but you could fight the assembly elections.
Assembly elections, yes, if party so desires in 2020, but that's 2 years away. So
Okay.
that's why I'm saying next 2 years I'm focused purely on getting more youth in politics in
But
Bihar.
that's interesting. Next assembly elections 2020, you could be fighting.
I could if party so
election.
desires, but we have an option. If you want to be part of the legislature there, you could also be in the upper house in Bihar.
Okay.
So you need not be fighting.
So
MLA
is that the first step towards a possible Chief Minister Prashant Kishor? I mean,
No,
of
this
course,
is
you
so
win the election.
So out of place. This question is so out of place.
It's a completely legitimate question.
No, it's not. I'm only 2 months old in politics,
right.
and my focus is to building JDU. Coming back to how ambitious we want to be, my first target I have set is to become JDU in terms of size and.
But when you look at the Bihar landscape, who is your real target? Because is it the RJD or is it even the BJP? Because in these recent Patna University elections, it was actually you versus the ABVP, and you won.
Yes.
So you were fighting your own ally.
But we were not allies in the universities. They have been fighting 25 years and they have been defeating us. So this time it was my turn, our turn, and I'm glad we came out winner. But
is the main threat for you in Bihar Lalu Yadav or his Lalu Yadav Parivar or the BJP Parivar?
I do not see the threat. I have set a target that as a JDU we should aim to become what we were in 2009 to 2010, which is about 120 MLAs and 20 odd MPs in Lok Sabha. That we achieved while we were in alliance with BJP. Right now we are down to 70 MLA and few MPs. So my first target is to take JDU where it was at its peak,
so we are out
and
of,
then we'll see from there.
I'm told we're out of time. Let me just go back to try and push you on the one thing which you didn't answer.
Yeah.
You did say that Modi should be more than Prime Minister should be more benevolent, but you haven't answered the question. What
I
you
did not
think
say Prime Minister. I said
big leader should be more benevolent. All
Mr.
right.
You asked me one thing.
Okay, answer me this. Where do you think the BJP script is going wrong? What is if you were to identify one fundamental mistake they're making, what would that be?
They could take more people along, political parties, people who are not necessarily 100% aligned to their thinking or thought process or work method. They can be a little bit more inclusive.
Okay, so in a way it ties into what you said about
NDA.
NDA and also about benevolence.
Only if they do that, you will realize that there are many parties who are actually fighting Congress / UPA
who they
and they
should
would
try
be more
to
than
take
willing
along.
to come on this side.
Okay, all right. Prashant Kishor, it's a pleasure talking to you. Thanks very much indeed. Thank you. And thank you very much indeed for our audience for joining us. A round of applause to you as well. And of course to all our viewers who are watching on Twitter. That's it on this edition of the NDTV Election Town Hall. But we will be back with many more such events with the game changers of 2019. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Okay.